Let me throw this crazy statistic at you. 175 Americans die every day from heroin. That's 8 deaths every hour across the country. An 18-month Palm Beach Post investigation into the epidemic found Florida lit the match. And here today to talk with us about it is award-winning investigative reporter Pat Beall. Good morning, Pat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us.
First of all, give us an idea of what you found throughout your investigation.
Well, we found there were actually 3 players in the heroin epidemic, and one was Purdue Pharma, because their marketing cultivated an appetite for opioids in a way that had never happened before. And one was El Chapo, because Joaquin Guzman very early on realized that an appetite for opioids could translate to heroin. But the third one, and the most surprising, was the state of Florida. Its inaction over a decade allowed pill mills to spread oxycodone and opioids throughout the eastern United States, or east of the Mississippi, I should say. And then when we cracked down, heroin was there.
Wow. A lot of times we say, you know, everything ends up in Florida eventually, you know, or sometimes California, but Florida seems to get a lot of these things. When will your readers be able to, you know, see this at the Post?
Well, right now the entire package is online at heroin.palmbeachpost.com, and it will start rolling out in print starting Sunday for the next 3 weeks.
All right, so it's intense. A lot of research went into this. Why is this a topic that you and the Post decided to dive headfirst into?
Well, you know, I think it's a response to our community. You know, Palm Beach and Broward counties were the epicenter of the pill mill epidemic. And when heroin started moving in, suddenly we found many of, you know, of our residents started to die. And I think we have now, this is our 3rd year in a commitment to reporting about the opioid epidemic, our community, our state, and our role, and maybe what we can do about it.
Why is it that, you know, pill mills leads to heroin epidemic later on? What's the connection?
Well, pill mills specialized in prescribing oxycodone, and oxycodone and heroin both come from the poppy plant, and chemically they're almost identical, and the high that they give you is almost identical too. And when you cut off oxycodone, when you cut off by shutting down pill mills the flow of these opioids, prescription opioids, heroin is the cheaper, readily available substitute.
Wow. How accessible is it, and how inexpensive or expensive is it? How do people get a hold of this so easily, I guess?
Well, I'm afraid it's everywhere. I mean, I don't have immediate statistics on, you know, the flow or the cost, but we do know that by 2008, the amount of poppies being grown in Mexico had almost eclipsed marijuana plantings in Mexico. There was a plan, there was a push, and it got cheaper and it got more potent.
What would you say is the most surprising thing that you found?
Florida's role. That Florida had an opportunity as early as 2002 to be a national leader, maybe to curb these epidemics, you know, before they got off the ground. And we didn't, and that was the most surprising thing.
Wow. So how bad is the situation in Florida compared to some other states?
Well, Florida, you know, Florida has had rising mortality for several years now, and it is one of the hardest hit states.
What do you hope comes out of your investigation?
Well, I think awareness, first of all. You know, sometimes knowing a mistake that you made in the past can keep you from making a mistake in the future. But there's also the opportunity for much more treatment money from the state. And there are opportunities to look closely at the best kinds of treatment and where those resources are.
All right, so again, it's already online. You can read about it online, and starting Sunday and the next 3 Sundays, your Palm Beach Post.
Right.
All right. Thank you. You're doing very important work. We appreciate it.
Thank
you
you
for coming in and telling us about it. Awareness, that is the key.